All right, so we are going to roast our pepper for our romesco. This is going to be one of those, we're going to do it on a stovetop instead of in the oven. If you got a gas stove at home, you can do this. It's fantastic. I'm doing it with a butane burner right now. All we're going to do is rotate it around, make sure it gets nice and blistered. I'm trying to make sure it gets nice and covered on all sides, make sure that it gets nice and charred. What we're doing is we're just adding that roasted flavor. Um, it softens up the bell pepper. It makes it a little bit sweeter, gives it a little bit of smokiness to it, but we're just trying to char off all of the skin. We don't want it to cook too far, just blister on all sides. You'll see in the when we cut back, it's going to be fully black. It's just rotate it around, constantly watch it, move it to spots that need the next spot cooked. Uh, but that blistering that you're seeing on the side is exactly what we're looking for. After we're done, getting it fully blistered, I'm going to wrap it up in saran wrap and let it rest for about 5 minutes where it just allows it to steam on the inside. This just helps it cook a little bit further and it will make it so that all of that skin comes right off. All right, so now we're ready to start putting together our romesco. I'm going to grab about 3 to 4 cloves of garlic and get that prepared. So I'm just slicing off those little bitter ends like we did before. And we're going to get those into the food processor. All right. Now, if those guys are in the food processor, this is you can see how black our pepper got. I'm just wiping off and getting rid of all of that excess skin. It should peel right off because it's just so nicely charred. Then we're going to take off the top, get rid of the seeds. It should be nice and juicy on the inside where it just steamed on the inside. I'm taking off the top and we're just removing all of those seeds, getting everything out of it. You can clean your cutting board, make sure that uh, you kind of get all of, because that skin will be bitter because it is nicely charred, but everything underneath is just going to have a nice smoky flavor. Make sure do not rinse this underwater. The water will actually rinse away all of that flavor that we wanted to build. All right, I'm just trying to get all those seeds and everything else off of it to the best of my ability. Just any of that last skin, any of that stuff, nice and beautiful. Just right on in there. I'm just tearing it up a little bit to help it out. All right, next we're going to get sun-dried tomatoes. We're going to use about 2 tablespoons of sun-dried tomatoes. We'll do a breakaway because I wasn't ready for how hard this box was going to be to open. You can scoop through. All right, so now we're at our tomatoes. We're going to add about 2 tablespoons of tomato. This is sun-dried tomato. Again, this is kind of a to taste. Depends on how wet your sun-dried tomatoes are. I've had some that are like bone dry and some of them that still have some moisture left. It all depends. Um, a lot of this is to taste and kind of working around flavors. Then I'm going to use a heaping 1/4 cup of breadcrumbs right on in and about 2 tablespoons of sherry vin. I'm just adding a little bit more breadcrumb. Again, we're going to do about 2 tablespoons of sherry vin. And then some salt. and some paprika. If you want to add cayenne to this, you're more than welcome. It will add some heat. Typically, this is also done with nuts of a sort. We aren't using those because I've got enough students that are allergic to nuts, and so we're doing a nut-free version today. Now I'm just going to pulse this together until it comes together. You can do this in a blender. It will get a lot smoother in a blender, and a food processor, you're still going to have some chunks. And then I'm going to drizzle in about a half cup to 1 cup of oil while it's running. If you want it thicker, add less oil. If you want it thinner, add more oil. Again, if you do this in a blender, it's going to be super smooth versus kind of this chunky version that we're making here. I'll stop it and pulse it a couple times, just making sure that everything gets incorporated. Uh, Give it a taste, make sure you season it to taste. All right, so we're opening it up. You can see that texture and everything. That's basically what we're looking for. And again, if you do this in a blender, it's just going to be smoother. I'm just trying to make sure that all of that garlic gets minced up and everything is good to go. So I'm going to give it a quick second burst, then taste it for seasoning. And it is absolutely phenomenal. It's what we